Does AEW withstand the storm of WWE? We were talking about WWE having too many stars. You know, there's a lot of star power in WWE, and not everybody gets that in one spot. We talked about Asuka holding that title for just a short run, but being an incredible athlete. You know, Io Sky is about to lose her title. You know, great talents not lasting for a long time, not getting, 100 days, 200 days with the title. Does AEW, can they compete with that?
I think, yeah, because another big thing with WWE is the longevity booking. Like, some guys right now are over the top, but like Gunther. Gunther's been holding the IC belt when he could put guys like Gable over or Braun Breaker. But he's holding that belt when he really should be fighting Rollins at Mania. So that kind of takes up a card spot. And I feel like the biggest issue with AEW and how it kind of compares back to WCW is WCW ran out of money, but AEW has like unlimited money. It's just their booking. That's the only thing that's kind of holding them back right now. They have way more than enough star talent to hold it together. So to answer your question, I think they can withstand the test of time, but Tony Khan needs to get his act together.
Which is heartbreaking because for me, the internet message board fan, this was the dream. They're going to bring Okada. They're going to do all this stuff. We were following the Young Bucks everywhere. Oh, my God. And we were stopped paying attention to WWE because they didn't have long booking, because they would do stuff every week that canceled out the thing they did before. And so I sort of when AEW came, my viewership of WWE dropped off. And then I've been going back and watching these huge things that their YouTube page has, where it's here's everything you need to know about the Bloodline for the last 2 years. And I'd watched, 3 hours of clips and things. And I was like, they've never done this. This was the Bloodline's gone on for most of the whole Attitude Era. And I can't believe that it's still just this one storyline. So if AEW can get it together, that'd be great. But I don't know that they have to. If they have unlimited money, then Tony Khan can just play Dollhouse and fantasy book whatever he wants. And I don't know. Unlimited money's unlimited money.
How long does the daddy let him play with his money, though?
Depends on how the other ventures are doing, I'm guessing. Yeah, right? Wait, did any of you guys play the video game? The
AEW one?
AEW?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Okay, I never bought it because I was sure it would be. Yeah.
My son's, he's saving his money up for 24. His full bot. He bought a Seth Rollins $26 action figure, and he was literally $20 away from earning 24. And I was like, dog, I want to play 24. Why? Save your money. I think I might just buy it for him.
Does AEW help with also just being there with contracts, right? Because now it's unhappy WWE superstars can be oh, now I'm gonna go. They kind of get that leverage too, It's well, now I can go to AEW, so even I think that would keep it afloat, because it's just wrestlers can be oh, I'm not getting booked good at here. I'm gonna go over here, maybe get a run.
I think if they get star power like Sasha Banks, or Mercedes, right? Mm-hmm. I think if they get that, but I don't think we'll see. Braun Breaker, if he went over there, he would go ape shit.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. But let's talk about the the big unspeakable elephant in the room. We don't know what WWE looks like post Vince. We have an idea, and I love Triple H, and I think he's but it's not. It's Vince is out, which I think has a lot of positives, but also TKO's a part of it now, and Netflix is going to be a part of it, and it's the next few years for WWE is going to be really interesting. A lot of things are going to change, and I don't know where it comes out on the end of that.
You think Netflix is going to try to wash it down, or what do you think? Because I think Netflix now with comedy, they're just letting you do whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Netflix is, because if you've seen their documentaries, are pretty much all about, raw documentaries. Because
Netflix already tried to go woke.
And you said all the comedians are all, the cutting edge comedians.
They stood by Dave Chappelle on LGBTQ pressure. I don't see them.
That's probably the reason why they're going to Netflix is because of that.
They know now that it's Netflix, they're just gonna let us do whatever, basically.
But do we want them to be able to do whatever?
Yeah, look at Raw. The last few weeks, there's been way more cussing than usual.
So he was saying,
there was blood last night. Yeah. I was watching and I was like, Cody Rhodes is bleeding on television, and The Rock's in the same frame. I was like, yeah. So I feel like right now they're kind of desensitizing us, away from what is the quote PG era, and then when Netflix takes over, it's gonna just be more of this. And every week you're gonna feel more and more of that like unfiltered.
Which is so weird too, because like for so long, like WWE in my head is the one for kids. Like it's the safe one that you can like bring your kids to, and like it's not at a bingo hall
So
with like
maybe they'll have Raw, more Raw, and then SmackDown more.
Like they usually did.
Oh, that's a good point.
Family oriented, Like, Raw. There's a reason why Raw's on
it's
Netflix.
called Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is SmackDown not going to Netflix? Is it just one of their programs?
It's really confusing, bro, because what's gonna happen with
That's
Peacock?
just a conspiracy I was throwing out there.
Yeah, but I'm here.
I think I'm on it. I'm on it.
Yeah.
But what's gonna happen with Peacock? Is what's gonna go? Are they gonna keep their relationships with Peacock? They're gonna have two streaming service relationships.
They can't, right? I mean, is Netflix? Are they getting the catalog? Are they getting everything? Do we know?
What we know right now is Netflix is getting Raw.
Okay.
And Netflix has been dabbling in like live stuff.
Yeah.
Like Netflix, they're holding
Paul type.
Jake Paul,
They're
yeah.
holding Jake Paul. They I was just scrolling the other day and it was live like overseas. They had like tennis. Like the tennis championship live on Netflix, like the movie awards live on Netflix.
Cat Williams is gonna be live on
Yeah,
Netflix.
you just go back and you just rewatch it live. So I think the Raw catalog, but I'm just like you said, I don't know what they're gonna do with Peacock.
Also, how much of it too? It's like you got to remember, like now as an adult, you're like, oh, it's crazy. But when we're teenagers and you see like something crazy like that, like blood or all these like crazy, like all of that's like pent up energy that we had. So it's just like, oh, it's like getting released through us just watching these guys beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
So
But I
it's,
also saw Kane rape a corpse. So there was,
And Val Venus almost lost his penis.
so I don't know. That's what I think that's what I worry about. But luckily with Vince out, I'm like, okay, we won't have
Some of those things,
Well,
yeah.
some of that will be toned down, which will be good. It's still 2024.
Hopefully they don't put Stephanie on a cross again.
I know. It's
Let's not do that.
It's so I think I have some like bad PTSD of like being 14. I thought it was awesome. Looking back, not so much. And I'm like, don't let WWE do whatever they want. We had that. It was super racist, and it was like
I don't think they could get away with it at this.
no way.
Definitely not
right.
Triple H and blackface.
Psychosis coming down on a riding mower. Like it's wrong.
I'll get random like 90s WWE memes, video memes that come through, and I send them to him. I'm like, this is what we grew up on. This was on regular television.
and Hulk Hogan.
Hey, what is it? Nigga.
Like even the sex scene. Remember?
Edge and Lita.
Oh, with Edge and Lita?
Like,
Man, that was
and
crazy.
there was a lot of the they're resurfacing now. You see all the Vince McMahon things, where he's
you're
calling
like,
people the N-word, and
It's crazy.
It's just like, this was on TV, like live TV, like it's the boss. What's anyone gonna say?
Exactly.
I think the biggest difference you can see is women's wrestling. Like where women's wrestling is now versus when we were watching. I mean, it was bra and panties matches. It was
pillow fights, lingerie match.
It was awful. It was, and then there were things are coming out about Ashley Massaro, and things are coming out about everything that was going on backstage, and it was just the worst. And I love ECW, but it was just as bad there. And now look where we are. And everyone said you could never have a woman headline WrestleMania. You could never have women do X, Y, and Z. They proved it all wrong. They always could have. They just weren't given the shot.
Do you think any of the women now in wrestling would be on Playboy like Sable was?
That's a good question.